Good day to Mr. Goyal, my fellow classmates, and my web audience. My name is Carlene Batson. I stand before you today to deliver a commencement speech entitled 9 Ways to Avoid Mucking Up the World Any Worse Than It Already Is. This speech was originally presented by Mr. Russell Baker at the Connecticut College in 1995. In a sensible world, I would now congratulate the class of 1995 and sit down without further comment. I am sure the graduates wish I would do so. Unfortunately, for the class of 1995, we do not live in a sensible world. We live in a world far more slavish in its obedience to ancient custom. An ancient commencement day custom demands that somebody stand up here and harangue the poor graduates until they beg for mercy. The ancient rule has been, make them suffer. I still remember the agony of my own graduation at the Johns Hopkins University. They had imported some heat from the Sahara Desert, especially for the occasion. And the commencement orator spoke for 2.5 days. That was in 1947. Luckily, the forces of mercy have made big gains since then. The authorities of Connecticut College have suggested that if I can condense this speech into 15 minutes, they will let me stay for lunch. They know their man, ladies and gentlemen. When I smell a free lunch, I go for it. All right, let's plunge right ahead into the dull part. That's the part where the commencement speaker tells the graduates to go forth into the world, then gives them advice on what to do when they get out there. This is a ridiculous waste of time. The graduates never take the advice, as I have learned from long experience. The best advice I can give anybody about going out there is this: don't do it. I have been out there. It is a mess. I might as well have been shouting down a rain barrel. They didn't listen, and look what happened. Within a year, Martin Luther King and Robert Kennedy were murdered. Then Nixon took us all to the Watergate. Draft riots, defeat in Vietnam, John Lennon killed, Ronald Reagan and his $1 trillion deficit. So I will no longer waste my breath. Instead, I thought it might help to give you a list of 9 of the 100 most important things you can do to avoid making the world any worse. 1. Bend down once in a while and smell a flower. 2. Don't go around in clothes that talk. Being dumb is not the worst thing in the world, but letting your clothes shout it out loud depresses the neighbors and embarrasses your parents. Point 3 follows from point 2, and is this: listen once in a while. It's amazing what you can hear. On a hot summer day, you can hear the corn growing. Or sometime when you're talking up a storm so brilliant, so charming, that you can hardly believe how wonderful you are, pause just a moment and listen to yourself. It is good for the soul to hear yourself as others hear you. Point 4. Sleep in the nude. In an age when people don't even get dressed up to go to the theater, it is silly getting dressed up to go to bed. What's more, sleeping in the nude is one deliciously sinful pleasure you can commit. Point 5. Turn off the TV once or twice a month and pick up a book. It might ease your blood pressure. It might even wake up your mind. But if it puts you to sleep, you're still a winner. 6. Learn to fear the automobile. It is not the trillion-dollar deficit that will finally destroy America. It is the automobile. My grandfather's generation shot horses. Yours had better learn to shoot automobiles. 7. Have some children. Children add texture to your life. They will teach you humility. When old age overtakes you, having some children will provide you with people who will feel guilty when they're accused of being ungrateful after all you've done for them. Number 8. Get married. I know you don't want to hear this, but getting married will provide you with a lot more satisfaction in the long run than your BMW. When you get married, whatever you do, do not ask a lawyer to draw up a marriage contract spelling out how your lives will be divided up when you get divorced. Speaking of lawyers, brings me to point 8.5, which is smile. You're one of the luckiest people in the world. You're living in America. Enjoy it. I feel obliged to give you this banal advice because I have never seen a time when there were so many Americans so angry, so mean-spirited, or so sour about the country as they are today. America is angry at Washington, angry at traffic, angry at people who are well off, and angry at people who are poor, angry at the blacks, and angry at the whites. The young are angry at the old angry at the young. A complete catalogue of the varieties of bile poisoning the American soul would fill a library. So when you get out there in the world, ladies and gentlemen, you will find yourself surrounded by shouting, red in the face, stomping mad politicians. And yes, sad to say, newspaper columnists telling you you never had it so bad and otherwise trying to spoil your day. When they come at you with that, ladies and gentlemen, give them a wink and a smile and a good view of your departing back. And as you stroll away, bend down to smell a flower. Now it seems I have run past my 15-minute limit and will have to buy my own lunch. That's life, class of 1995. No free lunch. My sermon is done. Thank you.